Mic check, mic check. Ooh, I hope this turns out well. Hey guys, it's Michael, and today I thought I'd film outside because well, it's not the nicest of days, but it's a pretty nice day compared to the past few days, which has been super, super, super rainy. So, hey, careful. My dog's over here. The tripod, man, the tripod. Stay. So I'm here today to do my wrap up for the 2 books that I read during the Dewey's 24-hour Readathon. The first book that I finished was The Children Act by Ian McEwan. He's the author of... I don't know if this is gonna work with him disturbing me. Sit. High five. You gonna let me film? Okay. Bruh, you're all over me! You're not gonna behave, are you? You're in my shot. Okay. Anyways, the first book that I read is The Children Act by Ian McEwan. He's basically the author of Atonement, and I really enjoyed it, so I decided to read his newest release. This book wasn't that bad, actually. This story is about this judge, Fiona, who's taking care of this case. She has this case that she has to deal with. The reason why I enjoyed this book is because it reminded me a lot of The Good Wife. If you've ever seen that one was a really good show which you should really watch, because me and my sister are addicted to that, and I think it's a really good show in general. But this one is about a judge who has to take over this case dealing with, it's more of a moral, oh god, something's in my eye. It's more of like a moral problem, because the guy is a Jehovah's Witness and he needs a blood transfusion to survive, but in a Jehovah's Witness point of view, it's almost tainted to have someone else's blood in you, because it's kind of like poison to them. So here she has to decide whether force the person to get this blood transfusion to live, or go with the family and decide that it's not good for the person. I really enjoyed this book because the way that McEwan presents the case and how both of the moral dilemmas on both sides. So essentially you're the one that decides what is correct in your mind, but obviously Fiona's gonna make the final decision because that's her job. Yeah. Now this takes place in the legal justice of England, and it's completely different from, well, not completely different, but it's really different from the American justice system. Like they don't here you call judges like your honor, there they call them like my lady, kind of like old school style century. So it was really interesting to see how she handles the situation. Then what happens afterwards. It does get kind of but I do really like the way that morality here is really questioned, morality and how it's processed almost. So I really did enjoy that one. The writing is really good. It's Ian McEwan, and his writing is basically just really beautiful. It's weird because I feel like his writing changes. I don't know. I should probably read the books because he wrote a lot of books. I should probably read the books in between this and Atonement, because it felt different. Like the way he would phrase stuff and choose how to describe things were really different. But his writing is really good at developing a character's thought, how they process everyday situations. So I really enjoyed it. This does have a side story with her and her husband, and how she's dealing with that alongside with this case that she's dealing with, and it's a really nice almost contrast as a companion of how she's dealing with that situation, her situation at home and her professional life. So I really enjoyed it. I gave it, at Goodreads, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, but it's more of a 3.5 really. And then the next book that I finished, well, not during the readathon, I had to read it afterwards, was The Unfortunate Importance of Beauty by Amanda Filippacchi. I found out she's French, so it's not pronounced Filippacchi. This has like a different pronunciation when you're reading it in French. So since she's French, it's pronounced Filippacchi. Yeah, this book was really interesting to say the least. I didn't know about it. All I knew is that it was a newer release. I saw it in my library. I decided to get it, and it was pretty short, so I decided to get that, and the font is pretty big, so yeah. I did not know that this has a mystery side sticker to it, so I didn't know that it was a mystery. Yeah, this was a mystery for sure. This book is about a group of friends called the Knights of Creation. Okay. Don't you see I'm filming a review here? Yeah, so this is about a group of friends called the Knights of Creation, and we have two main characters there. So we have Barb here, who is so pretty. Yes, the description is that she's so pretty that she has to put on a fat suit, so that way she can feel like she's normal and people won't stare at her. And then on the other side we have Lily, who's not the most attractive person, but she can play the piano really well. So and there's other side characters in the group, but it's mainly about them two. This book has a lot going on. I mean, a lot going on, and I felt that it wasn't tied up really neatly. It's kind of like, you know how when all of a sudden it's almost Christmas time and you have to wrap up the presents, so it's not the best wrap job that you've ever done, but I mean, they can't really see it anyways, but it's still presentable. That's how I felt like this book was. But it was really good, actually. I went into this book blind, so I think you should too, because it was a pleasant surprise and I really enjoyed it. I think this book is basically split into two, I feel like. The first half deals with this mystery of one of their former friends that died, that was in their initial group. So he died, and basically they're trying to find out who did it, and things happen basically, and it leads up to the most funniest, tense dinner party I've ever read about. It had moments, no lie, of Agatha Christie, which I loved, because you're presented with this situation that these group of people are in, and you're gonna see how it's gonna unravel. What was that one with? Oh gosh, I've read so many of hers. I'm getting it confused, but there is a story. Oh my God, what was it? Dinner with a View, or no? The ABC murder. There was a story of Agatha Christie where like the murder was going to be announced during this time, so they try to avoid it. Oh my God, I forgot. But anyways, so basically in the first half of this, it's about how this Agatha Christie situation is gonna happen, and it unfolds so funny and so tense, but really it felt like Agatha Christie 21st century. That's how good it was. I loved it. But then we reached the second half right here. Okay, I thought I heard thunder again. But anyways, we reached the second half right here where I didn't know where the book was heading. It was in this weird place. It turned into like a love story almost, and it was a weird I wouldn't say a transition. It was just a weird comparison compared to the first half of this book, because I thought it was just going to be a mystery throughout, but it wasn't. And then the ending, with how things are tied up, it felt really rushed. So I just finished filming, and then I just realized I didn't tell you about some of the characters and the writing on here. So quick, some of the characters weren't developed enough. I felt like side characters were just randomly there just to be there. They didn't serve really no purpose at all, and the writing's actually not that bad. It's really fast-paced, and it just keeps the story going. Okay, that's the next door neighbor. But it felt really rushed, and it wasn't as neat as I wanted to be tied up. What I did enjoy about this book is that you get this really stark comparison between someone who is really pretty but feels like she's too pretty, and then this girl right here who isn't the prettiest but wants to feel loved, and she's trying to get someone to love her. The title of the book is really important actually, because the book deals a lot about beauty, and it asks about exactly what is beautiful and how beauty essentially is perceived in different people's point of view. Overall though, if you want, I thought this was a really fast-paced, and granted the first half was the funniest. The second half did have some really funny moments, and it did take a turn with one of the characters. I was like, what is going on? It just kept surprising me, and I just really enjoyed it overall. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I think you should really read it. I think you would enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, those are the 2 books that I read during the readathon. I thought, you know what, I think 2 books, in my opinion, is really good because I feel like I read really slow compared to everybody else. But I think I read fast, but when everybody else was reading those like 3 books already, and I was like, ooh, I'm only on my first one. I'm really excited to see what you guys read, so let me know how it went for you, and then I'll see you guys till later. Bye.